Welcome. Welcome to this slideshow about house fires and how to prevent them. I'm Byron Bradley Carrier. I live in Ashland, Oregon, southwestern Oregon. We had a fire come near our town, and so I had a neighborhood meeting in March with local neighbors to discuss this, and this slideshow replicates that and reminds them, and it allows us to send it to other people who might benefit from our... Okay, here we go. And welcome to Fire Prevention. How to protect your house and neighborhood. It was September the 8th, 2020, when the Alameda fire started right here near Quiet Village. It barely skirted our neighborhood and our town. My son Tobias helped water down the backyard across from our house to prevent the fire from coming in there. After a dry summer, the 45-mile-an-hour wind spread the fire rapidly. This little map shows you our Bear Creek Valley on the way to the Rogue River. Here's Ashland, and here's the larger town Medford, and in between we've got Talent and Phoenix, and the red outlines where the fire went. And this is what it did there. All these houses and mobile homes were totally burned down to the very ground. It was so hot that the asphalt burned and the metal melted. Statistics are made out of individual tragedies, but consider 2,500 homes destroyed, 600 businesses, 3,000 acres, a financial loss at over $1 billion, $1,000 million. Such big numbers do not convey the individual losses suffered. Well, most fires are started by flying embers. An ember can travel 2 miles to start a new fire, and when it's a hot, dry summer, it can start a new fire. Firefighters will probably be busy on other fires. Your home can be protected against adjacent houses on fire, burning bushes and trees, and flying embers if you take some precautionary measures. But doing so at the last minute during this kind of a thing is not feasible. Wildfires are getting worse, not just here in the Southwest, but worldwide. You can see things do go up and down. There are times when there's not much fire, but the overall trend is that things are hotter, according to the Union of Concerned Scientists and others. The fourth National Climate Assessment about the Southwest generated this chart, which shows the change in temperature from 1901 to 1960 as compared to 1986 to 2016. If it were the same temperature, the entire chart would be white, but you can see it's definitely hotter. What you can do to prevent a fire. There are immediate, low-cost preventative measures. There are plants that you can trim, separate, remove. There are structural modifications to your houses and fences. And there's things to do to help your neighbors. Let's look at the immediate, low-cost, most bang-for-the-buck solutions. Just clear away the dry grass, dead leaves, and flammable objects that are near your house. Clean out your rain gutters and accumulated leaves from roof gullies. Trim dried branches from nearby bushes and from trees. Replace flammable bark mulch with rocks, pavers, or composted mulch that doesn't burn so easily. Here's a reminder. Our rain's eaves troughs can accumulate leaves, they dry out, they can easily catch a spark and catch your roof on fire. There are vent openings at the foundation and attic which you can cover with 1/8-inch metal mesh screening to resist the embers penetrating under or in the attic of your house. Here's a picture of such meshing. Keep the space under decks clean of debris. If your deck is less than 2 feet off the ground, fully enclose the space under the deck. All plants will burn if given the right condition, especially if they haven't been pruned recently. So thin out the dead branches and the dry debris underneath every plant, and avoid planting anything within 5 feet of your structure. Where plants are placed and how they are maintained are more important than the type of plant selected. Imagine this hedge. Nothing but kindling down here, which could easily catch fire and then catch the house on fire. So, remove the leaf and debris, needle debris, flammable vegetation, especially near the house, and then change the bark mulch with something that doesn't burn, and cut down the weeds and grasses to 4 inches or less by the beginning of the fire season. Here's a yard that has been hardened against fire. Here's a chart reminding you the closer to the house, the more dangerous it is. The farther away you can allow the trees to be closer together. And here's a reminder that fire travels uphill very easily, so if you live on a steep slope, you have to be even more cautious and protective. Look at this tree. It looks like a Yolanda cypress, like what we brought down. It's a big torch if it catch on fire, and this house would burn. But now it's gone, and this house is far more protected. My son and I cut down 2 Yolanda cypresses in our yard. Here they are. There's one. Here's the other one. And you can see we processed all the little sticks and twigs and everything into firewood, which we stored. You can make structural modifications that will help. Especially wooden fencing that attaches to the house can be replaced in the last 5 feet with something that doesn't burn. There's flashing between wood siding and decks or at the place where the wall meets the roof, and that can be placed to keep the fire from creeping up. When replacing siding, upgrade to fire-resistant materials like fiber cement, stucco, masonry cement, plaster. Here's some photos, examples of what some neighbors did to protect their house from the creeping fire. Look at these totally burned out houses right near these ones that did not burn. How ready is your house if fire comes near? Look how hot this is. It blistered the whole side of this house. So help your own home and your neighborhood. Your neighborhood. Well, there may be people who can't do the work, and so you could perhaps help them cleaning fire-prone debris away from the house, clean the gutters, or maybe connect them with owners. Connect those owners with workers who can do this. Also know your emergency evacuation route and prearrange if there are neighbors who may need help evacuating during a fire emergency. It's harder to visualize a fire in the winter and spring than at the end of a hot, dry summer. So the time to help prevent a fire is before it ever happens. start somewhere. For instance, I plan to do these things: clean the burnables away from the house, create metal fencing near the house, protect the firewood storage, have hoses ready to use, and help others if needed. You might also plan to do some things. It's for you to decide. It's your responsibility. Make a mental note of what you thought of during this presentation in terms of immediate and longer term to-dos, and share your information with those who are interested. Thank you for caring for your own home and for protecting your neighbors as well. The program at my house on March 17th was a volunteer effort organized by the Ashland Climate Collaborative, which is a volunteer organization tending to fire and other issues related to climate change and disaster scenarios. So please visit them at ashlandclimate.org. So thank you, and please feel free to share this video slideshow with others who may benefit from it.